Under a dull sky cracked with frost, the town sat quiet as a held breath. Not even the horses in their posts twitched. Walter Bush, coat draped heavy over one shoulder, guided his wagon through the dead heartbeat of the main street. Mud frozen into ruts, shutters drawn tight, smoke barely curling from chimneys. He didn't expect trouble here. He didn't expect much of anything. He was halfway to the smithy when he saw her. The girl couldn't have been more than 7, face pale and raw from wind, bare feet planted in the icy sludge like roots she hadn't earned yet. Her dress was faded blue, stitched at the hem with mismatched thread, sleeves too long and dragging. She stood in front of him with a trembling donkey held by a frayed rope. The beast looked older than winter. "Please buy this donkey from me," she said. He blinked. Not in confusion. In resistance. Her voice was too even, too steady for a child. It wasn't a plea. It was a verdict. "Don't need a donkey," Walter said, flicking the reins, but the girl didn't move. Her hand stroked the donkey's neck, slow and final. "My mama needs the money." He sighed, dusted snow off his hat brim, and looked past her. That's when he saw the shadow in the alley, slumped against a shack wall. A woman, draped in a thin yellow bonnet, one arm cradled like it didn't work anymore. Her body leaned sideways, weight held by the wall, not spine. Still, she held her chin proud. He didn't mean to dismount. Just found his boots in the slush beside the wagon, crunching toward the girl. The donkey brayed low, breath misting. Walter knelt, one hand on its flank. "Old thing," he muttered. "Why sell it?" The girl didn't blink. "She says we got to let go of what we love to survive." "Your mama say that?" "She used to sing it." Walter looked again at the woman. Her face wasn't visible, but her stillness was the kind that came after the shaking stopped. He walked past the girl without asking. Up close, Unia Hale smelled like iron and pine pitch. There was blood dried at her elbow, fresh bandage poorly knotted with a strip of skirt. Her eyes lifted to his. No thanks. No fear. Just the weary stare of someone who expected the world to break even good men. "We don't take charity," she said, voice thin as fence wire. "You selling your daughter's friend, then?" "She ain't my daughter's friend. That donkey's been our mule, our pillow, and our priest. But she's old. Like me." The donkey shuffled, sensing its name in silence. "I'll give you $4, Walter said. 6. 5. A beat. Unia nodded. She turned her face away from him when she handed the rope. Not out of shame. Out of history. The girl buried her face in the donkey's mane, whispered something into its ear, then kissed it right between the eyes and let the rope fall. Walter looked at the girl's tiny hands, raw-knuckled, frostbitten, and thought of the last winter his sister had gone missing. Same weather. Same silence. Different ending. He turned to leave, money exchanged, rope in hand, but behind him, a thud. Unia was on her knees, breath coming sharp. Her good hand pressed to her ribs, eyes tight with pain. The girl didn't cry. She just knelt beside her and curled a hand over her mother's back like she'd done it 1,000 times. Walter crouched, scooped her up without asking. She gasped but didn't struggle. That told him everything. "You can sleep in the barn," he muttered, "until she's strong enough to ride." "We don't stay," the girl said. "You do tonight." He didn't say more. Loaded them into the wagon. The donkey, curious, followed like a widow. The road out of town narrowed into white pine and silence. Snow fell like hushes. Unia lay half-conscious beneath a quilt in the back. The girl sat beside Walter, her boots borrowed from him, dangling. She didn't ask questions. At a fork near a bare tree hung with crows, she whispered. "That's where Mama buried her ring." "Wedding." She nodded. She said she didn't want it weighing down her fingers when she ran. The ranch came into view like a ghost made solid. Cabin crouched low against the wind, smoke curling from one stubborn chimney. Walter helped carry Unia inside, laid her on a cot near the stove. The girl unpacked what little they had, a tin cup, a comb with missing teeth, and a locket without a chain. That night, the wind screamed outside. Walter sat on the porch, rifle across his lap. The donkey stood beside him, not tied, just waiting. It blinked toward the trees like it knew something Walter didn't. Footsteps came after midnight. 2 men. Dust-coated, smiles wrong. One had a badge under his coat. The other had knuckles too clean to be poor. "You seen a woman and a kid pass through?" the clean-knuckled one asked. Walter let his silence answer for him. "The donkey brayed once. Loud. Just a visit," Walter said. "No one stays long." They left, slow, but not satisfied. Inside, Unia stirred. Walter sat beside her. "Who were they?" "Sheriff's men," she rasped. "Or what he calls law." "Your husband." She nodded once. "He used to be good." Before he figured out, respect came quicker with fear. Walter didn't ask more. He could read it in her eyes. She'd tried to leave before. The scars on her shoulder weren't from riding. "Why come here?" he asked. "My brother said this land had quiet. He died last spring." "He give you the donkey?" "He said it wouldn't judge." Outside, the donkey shifted. Wind picked up. The stove crackled. Unia's hands curled in her lap. "You gonna send us north?" she asked, eyes half-lidded. "I might." "Why?" Walter took a long breath. "Because my sister begged me to take her once. I told her marriage made her his. She hanged herself the next spring." The silence between them wasn't cruel, just honest. The snow started falling harder. By morning, the world was white. Then came the men. 4 of them. Rifles. Boots thick with purpose. They didn't knock. Walter heard the barn door splinter. The donkey screamed. Gunshot cracked the cold. The girl's voice tore the silence. "No!" Unia grabbed the kitchen knife. Walter took the rifle from the mantel. The front door burst open. Men shouted. Wood shattered. Walter fired once. Missed. Unia slashed one man's thigh, got shoved hard into the stove. Walter shot again, hit chest. 1 man fell. 2 ran deeper into the house. The girl bit the wrist of one dragging her. He cursed. Unia, blood on her face, grabbed the knife and plunged it into his side. Walter dropped the 3rd man with a shot to the gut. The 4th ran. Blood in the snow. Gone. Then stillness. The girl sobbed beside the donkey, its chest heaving, legs trembling. It had taken the first bullet. Shielded them. A hole bloomed in its side. Unia knelt beside it, hand on its jaw. The donkey blinked at her, once. Then was gone. They buried it under the apple tree that hadn't fruited in years. That night, Walter lay on the floor, bleeding from his ribs. Unia stitched him with trembling fingers. The girl curled beside him, too tired to cry. "I should have let you go," Walter whispered. "You didn't." Outside, the storm broke. Unia sat beside him, a hand on his heart. "You didn't just buy a donkey, Mr. Bush." He almost smiled. "No. I reckon I bought time. And maybe something worth keeping." The girl slept between them, tiny hands still dirty. The fire snapped, throwing gold across her face. Outside, something new stirred in the soil where the donkey lay buried. Not warmth, but the memory of it. And deep in the woods, a badge gleamed in a man's hand as he watched from the trees. Waiting. Watching. But this time, the girl had a name. And the man she stood behind wasn't planning to run. Now, click on the video on your screen to hear a tale even darker than this one, where justice comes too late, and love is the only thing left standing. Go on. Click it. Walter was just the first to choose mercy over silence.